Morning everybody! Today it's the big shower day, probably something like her first shower in 10 or 15 years. So I bet that we are going to spend a little bit more than just one day to clean all the deck and the cockpit and the outside of the boat, but we'll have to start with the start. So let's go! Unrolling the furler rope, you could see how dirty it was. Moving to the cockpit, the sheets were like melted around the winches. As you could see from the very beginning, the deck, the ropes and all the chandlery items were covered by years of sand, dust and earth. Then we started to remove the teak boards on the ceilings and on the floor in the middle of the cockpit. These wooden planks were tied up to the seats by such old screws that we just had to pull them and they came off really easily. Do you want me to plant some things? Like strawberries? That would be good. Above the teak, down in the cockpit, lies several centimeters of earth and moss. A real little ecosystem was living here. We started to imagine how it would be if we were teeny tiny and could see a big dense forest in there. But back to reality. The teak was very damaged. The screws weren't tied up anymore, and we only had to remove all the earth and moss. Although it was easier than we first thought it would be. As we didn't have a shovel, we used a boat hook and a piece of wood to scrape and collect everything we could out of the cockpit and throw it away.
La passerelle aussi, on avait dégagé.
Oui, je sais, c'est pour ça que j'ai commencé par là. As a result of this cleaning process, we ended filling up a lot of trash bags. Kosher time. Can I see? Yeah. Okay, I'm coming up. We learned afterward that washing a teak deck with the high pressure water was not a good idea. As we could notice, the black joints between some planks lifted up. Moreover, the wood has to be brushed only in one direction and the kosher that we used was way too strong. Now we know that, we will be careful in the future. However, when we started washing the teak deck, we thought that we couldn't keep the teak because it looked very damaged due to time and weather impact, and that we would probably remove it someday. broken, but there's some water getting through, and some water here. So this is going to be some other stuff we had to do. Open the curtain. Okay, apparently nothing here. Okay, no curtain anymore. The deck sure looks really nice now it's clean. But the most impressive is to see the wash-up from the ground. There, you could realize how dirty she was, waiting all these years by looking at the color of the water pouring along the hull. It looks like a muddy, brownish river. It was like this. And after, like a brand new tech. Yeah, so you can see, well, we stop about there. Before, it's like a lot of different colors, and after, white. Okay, this is quite different. Still some work to do here because it's still a little bit old. And yes, the before again. And here it's quite of the middle of the work. The frame of the portholes had become embedded by mud. I had to remove it carefully by hand and check the state. Except for the galley one, which we already know that it is no longer waterproof, they seemed to be okay. By the end of the day, the deck was entirely cleaned. It has never looked this beautiful. This was a really long, harsh day, but it was so worth it. The teak was finally as it was supposed to be, and we could rediscover our boat from a new perspective. Even though we just started our journey with her, and know that there are still so much to do to get her ready, this night we caught ourselves wondering and thinking about how someday we could be watching another magnificent sunset just like this one while sailing. Today we have a couple of things to do. After washing all the boats, we have a lot of trash to throw away. We are going to check and wash the dinghy, so we'll be able to see if it's okay. We don't know yet if we're going to keep this one or sell it to buy another one, but first of all we have to check if it's okay. Although we still have a couple of areas to wash, such as the chain locker. And in the cockpit we have 3 different lockers and we still have to check inside of them. We might find something interesting, we don't know yet. Definitely we need to wash it. So let's go! As we cleaned this space, we were glad to see that the windlass was still in a good condition. It is located inside the locker, which provided it an efficient shield over the years. For now, we don't know if it still works though. J'ai mis la main à côté de la boîte. C'est bon?
Et elle est plus là.
As we were inspecting the settings/lockers doors, we noticed a significant amount of cracks in the gel coat, even some getting through the fiberglass. We will definitely need to repair and strengthen them. First step, empty the lockers. We had found a lot of stuff: ropes, engine oils and other maintenance products, and the life raft. This one is a 6-person life raft, very old. That information is giving us some clue about how long our boat has not been sailing. We took it down before decided what to do with it. Basically, we have two options: to open it up in the sea and get a practice, or to find some organization that might be willing to take it. Second step, as usual, cleaning. So we are back up to vacuum, scrub, rub and rinse. We are kind of starting to get used to it. The portside locker was big, the starboard one is even bigger. Actually, this locker is so huge Valéry and I could fit in it. And the first time we had a look inside, we haven't seen the big surprise it had for us.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Look! Look what I found!
What? Oh!
A new propeller.
Yeah, new. I don't know if it's new, but
It's not new.
still it's a propeller.
Yes, we've got one.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but
It's not
What?
It's not the one we would like to have,
No.
but
but
it's a one.
it's a propeller.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our boat has a propeller.
So what?
This is the cylinder for the autopilot. It's kind of a big one, well known as well. So we're glad that we found a cylinder that good, with such a good reputation.
This is Recombe Schmidt,
Yeah,
French company.
yeah, it's a big brand.
Yeah.
But we'll have to make it not repaired, but checked at
Checked,
least.
yeah.
So we are sure it's gonna be working. We have found a lot of different ropes in the lockers. So to check their state and to know if we could use them, we untied them up on the ground. Even if they are not brand new, they appeared to be in a good condition. There are a lot of different size and length, and they would be very useful in the future. A little tip that we had learned lately. If you are wondering how to choose the diameter for your mooring ropes, think about adding 2 meters to the length of your boat. So for example, for us, our boat is 13.5 meter long, so we add a 2 and get a 15.5 millimeters of diameter for our mooring ropes. We will round up at 16 millimeters and we're good to go.
I would like to make a pause here. Before going ahead, it is very essential for you to know that Stéphanie loves dinghies. So this moment is important for her because it is the very one moment when Stéphanie is discovering our all-new dinghy. That said, let's see how she works things out.
There was a lot of stains, but most of them are actually, I can clean them, so it's cool. It's not perfect, but it's not new anyway. It's gonna look beautiful. I don't think that we are going to use it in very short moments, but still it's nice to be for it to be clean.
So I found myself in tears. Every day was filled with fear. When you feel you wanted more.
So now the teak deck is all washed up and dry, which is nice. First of all, we were very happy. We didn't think that we could actually see how great it was before washing the boat. But looking closer to the teak planks, we noticed that they are not in a good condition at all. A lot of Sikaflex joints just take off by themselves. The planks actually grew hollow in a lot of different places. And we are not sure that we are going to be able to save it. We would like to keep a teak deck because it's nicer and it's warmer. It's very expensive to redo the whole roof and deck with teak. So we will probably take it off and just do a paint job instead. But for now we won't work that much because it's a very long job to do. we just want to protect our deck. So we will put back some Sikaflex joints in all the places that it took off. And then we'll see later what kind of deck we would be able to make.
There's an ocean deep and wide between you and me, but still I'll be there if you say you will.
Thank you so much for watching our video production. We hope that you enjoyed and we'll be happy to share with you the next parts when we take off the mast. You can follow more on Facebook, Instagram and our website. You'll find the links in the description below. We also signed up for a Patreon page where you could see more content like extra videos, photos and details on our work on the boat. Bye!
Behind your